All right. Joy. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihagare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihagare Upi Janabhava Yeri Varanaguti Upi Janabhava Yeri Varanaguti Yasodhanana Rajajana Ranjana Yasodhanana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Panacharte Yamuna Tira Panacharte Jayarambho Madhova Kunya Behavote Jaya Radha Madhova Kunya Behavote Gopi Janabadapa Girivarudhavute Gopi Janabadapa Girivarudhavute Yirivadodha Jaya Solanandana Rajajadananjana Yasolanandana Rajajadananjana Jamuna Tira Manacharute Yamuna Tira Manacharute Jayarado Madhava Kunya Behagare Jayarado Madhava Kunya Behagare Madhava Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvadikacharya Asuteta Satashi Shimad, His Divine Grace. Abhaya Charanada Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwait Gadadha Shiva Siddhi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shai Mukunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Vrindavanam Ki Jai, Mathuranam Ki Jai, Jagadada Swami Ki Jai, Yamuna Maya Ki Jai, Shrimati Lasi Devi Ki Jai, Samveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Gaur Premalanda Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Budale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Sahamani Jinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nivashesha Srinivali Paschachate Shatarni. So we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 60th chapter. And we're going to start with the chapter summary, and we're going to go to verse 1, maybe to 2, but we'll see. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, chapter summary. This chapter, of course, the chapter is entitled Lord Krishna Teases Queen Rukmini. So, chapter summary. This chapter describes how Lord Krishna provoked anger in Queen Rukmini with joking words and then consoled her, thus demonstrating the opulence of a lover's quarrel. One day, Lord Krishna sat at ease in Queen Rukmini's bedroom, while she and her maidservants attended to him in various ways. Rukmini always responded to Shri Krishna's moods, whatever they might be. On this occasion, the Lord looked at Rukmini, whose beauty was faultless, and began to tease her. Previously, many wealthy kings worthy of you in their appearance and character wanted to marry you. In fact, your father and brother intended to give you in marriage to Shishupala. Why, then, did you accept such an unsuitable husband as me, who once renounced my kingdom and fled to the sea in fear of Jarasandha? Besides, I transgress worldly morality, and because I own nothing, I am dear to other paupers. Certainly the well-to-do would not worship one such as me. When a man and woman share the same social class, influence, physical beauty, and so on, marriage or friendship can flourish between them. But out of short-sightedness you have accepted a husband who lacks every good quality and is glorified by beggars. Better you had married some prominent warrior. Then you might have been happy in this life and the next. Your brother Rukmi and kings like Shishupala and all hate me. And it was only to cut down their pride that I kidnapped you. But as for such things as body, home, wife, and children, I'm indifferent to them, being the self-satisfied personality of Godhead, transcendental to all material affairs. Shri Krishna stopped speaking, having destroyed Queen Rukmini's confidence that she was her husband's favorite. She began to cry, and soon she became stunned in extreme fear, pain, and sadness, and fell unconscious. Lord Krishna saw that she had misunderstood his joking, and thus he felt compassion for her. He picked her up from the floor and, caressing her face, consoled her. I know you were totally attached to me, It was only out of eagerness to see your lotus face adorned with a frown that I teased you. To joke with one's beloved is the highest enjoyment for householders. These words dispelled Rukmini's fear of rejection. Seeing that Krishna had spoken only in jest, she said, "What you said about the two of us being mismatched is actually true. After all, no one is equal to you, the omnipotent master of the three principal deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva." Rukmini went on to show how everything Krishna had said, denigrating himself, was actually glorification. Lord Krishna then spoke to Rukmini with deep affection. "I did not intend to agitate your mind with my joking words. Rather, I wanted to demonstrate the strength of your chastity. Anyone who prays to me for sense gratification and happiness in family life is simply deluded by my illusory energy, Maya. Such a person will take a low birth. Ordinary women with corrupt desires cannot possibly worship me faithfully as you have done. At the time of your marriage, you showed no interest in any of the royal suitors. Rather, you sent a Brahmin messenger for me. Thus, you are certainly the most beloved of all my consorts." In this way, the Lord of the universe, Sri Krishna, took pleasure in joking with the goddess of fortune in her form as Rukmini. And in a similar fashion, he fulfilled all the duties of a householder in each palace of his other queens. So, text 1. Shri Badarayane Ruvacha Karichit Sukham Asinam Swatalpa Stang Jagat Gurum Pating Paryacharad Vaishmi Vyajanena Sakhi Janai Shri Badarayane Ruvacha Karhichit Sukhamasinam Aswatalpastam Jagat Gurum Patim Paryacharad Vaishmi Yajjanena Sakhi Janai Shri Badarayane Ruvacha Karhichit Sukhamasinam Swatalpastam Jagat Gurum Patim Paryacharad Vaishmi Vyajjanena Sakhi Janai Shri Badarayane Ruvacha Karhichit Sukhamasinam Swatalpastam Jagat Guru Patim Paryacharad Vaishmi Vyajjanena Sakhi Janai. Okay. Okay. Sri Badarayani Shukadeva Goswami, the son of Badarayana Vedavyasa. Uvacha said, Karichit, on one occasion, Sukham, comfortably, Asinam, sitting, Swa, on her, Talpa, bed, Stam, situated, Jagat, of the universe, Gurum, the spiritual master, Patim, her husband, Paryacharat, served, Vaishme, Rukmini, Vyajjanena, by fanning, Saki Janai, together with her female companions. So translation, Sri Badarayani said, once in the company of her maidservants, Queen Rukmini was personally serving her husband, the spiritual master of the universe, by fanning him as he relaxed on her bed. So you can repeat, Sri Badarayani said, once in the company of her maidservants, Queen Rukmini was personally serving her husband, the spiritual master of the universe, by fanning him as he relaxed on her bed. So purport by the followers of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti poetically notes that in this chapter, Rukmini Devi is like fragrant camphor crushed on the grinding stone of Lord Krishna's speech. In other words, the lovely, chaste qualities of Rukmini will become manifest as a result of Lord Krishna's apparently insensitive words, just as camphor's fragrance becomes manifest when granules of camphor are crushed by a grinding stone. The Acharya further points out that Rukmini is personally serving the Lord because he is Jagat Gurum, the spiritual master of the universe, and Patim, her husband. So I'm going to skip over Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary because the devotees actually cited that commentary. But Jiva Goswami says something a little bit not different, but elaborates more on this verse. Shukadev now speaks of the love quarrel between Rukmini and Krishna, which are suitable in speaking about the events after Aniruddha's marriage. This quarrel indicates special ras in the pastimes with the queens. The whole chapter deals with this. One time, while happily engaged in married life, was serving Krishna. What? It should have been Rukmini. It's a mistake here in the. It says was, serving Krishna seated on her bed, since he was greater than anyone, Jagat Gurum, particularly because he was the object of her love since he was her husband. By her friends, she served him with various articles, and finally, with the fan, she personally served him. This is implied because it is proper that one person fans rather than many, and verse 7 mentions that she alone took the yak-tail land. So again, the verse, Shri Badarayani Ruvacha Karichit Sukham Asinam Swatalpa Stam Jagat Gurum Patim Paryacharad Vaishmi Vyajanena Saki Janai Sa Omagana Timiranda Shah Kananjana Shlakaya Chakshur Unmeditam Yena Tasmai Shigarave Namaha. So, one may ask, of course we read the chapter summary, so why is Krishna going to agitate the mind of Rukmini. So, of course, you can say he very much enjoys what? These loving exchanges, especially the anger, that means arguments between husband and wife, but, loving arguments between husband and wife. That's one reason. And he wants her to enjoy, and this is an exchange of rus. In this particular verse, we're getting another indication, a different indication, but not that it contradicts the first indication. In this particular verse, we have some very interesting words. And I'm going to cite some of these words. There's Jagat Gurum. Jagat Gurum means the Lord of the universe. Prabhupada often talked about this word, Jagat Guru, in terms of the Mayavadis calling themselves or being allowed to be called Jagat Guru. And Prabhupada said they'd never go out of their village or never go anywhere. Prabhupada is the actual Jagat Guru. So usually this term is a Mayavad term, but not in this particular context. But it means the Lord, Krishna, who is the Lord of the universe. That's interesting because that is a on-reverent term. Krishna is the Lord of the universe. And in the commentaries, we actually find that Rukmini is personally serving the Lord, and here's the operative word, because he is Jagat Guru. Interesting. The spiritual master of the universe. So she's serving her husband because of that mood of on reverence. And in addition, you have another on reverence term. I mean, means husband, but it also means Lord, isn't it? Batim. He's her husband, my Lord. Like that. Sometimes Christians called Jagatpati, and our friend Ravan, he called himself, Sitapati. It means he wanted to be the Lord of Sita. So you have both of these on-referent terms, and the Acharyas actually really point that out. Both Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and here we have Jiva Goswami saying the same thing. Since he was greater than anyone, Jagat Gurum. Anyway, so both the Acharyas that we have read, of course there's more Acharyas we don't have here, point this particular thing out. And Krishna, he wants to bring the relationship to a different level. He wants more intimacy than that. Of course, we understand in Vrindavan, he has the greatest intimacy, and in Dwarka, not as great an intimacy, because there's official relationships in Dwarka. The wife, husband, all these different titles. It's not as flowing or, doing away thick and thin, as they say, doing away with the official relationships in Dwarka and, of course, in Mathura. So Krishna very much enjoys doing away with all this, official doing and just, I guess, letting your hair down. And even in Vrindavan, Krishna encourages the devotees to let their hair down more. And this is, of course, a metaphorical sense. Not always in an actual descriptive sense. So, for example, he enjoys getting Srimati Radharani angry. We read in the Vidagdha Madhava how he keeps Radharani waiting the whole night. In English, that's called he stands her up, right? Could you imagine? Like that, the whole night. Usually, actually, even in terms of like boys dating girls, sometimes the girl keeps the boy waiting. Isn't it? The boy goes over to the girl's house. When is little Susie coming down. Oh, just now. So he waits 2 hours. And, that, of course, that draws out his anticipation, whatever, or some cases anger. So anyway, so Krishna keeps Radharani waiting the whole. He tells her, "I'm coming. Just wait for me." So she's there in the bower, of course, with her friends, and she's waiting. And a girl decorates herself. A lot of anticipation. It's called purva. Purva, a lot of anticipation. There's a lot of interesting things in the relationships with, before meeting, during meeting, even during meeting, when Radha and Krishna are together, then there's a lot of anxiety. When is Krishna going to leave? So it's complete anxiety before meeting, during meeting, after meeting. That's a spiritual world when you're always in anxiety. Is that nice? Yes? No? Maybe? Anyway, you're always in anxiety, in these Vrindavan pastimes. And also we find in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, even in the Pandavas, the case of the Pandavas, they're in anxiety that Krishna's going to leave. They're in anxiety that Krishna's not there, so they want to create some sort of problem so Krishna will come back. So there's a complete, the intensity of emotion. So anyway, so Radharani's waiting all night long. And finally, after the night is almost over, Krishna comes, and he has these marks on his body. And what are these marks? These marks, anyway, I don't know if I should describe this. But anyway, these marks are marks indicating, I'm not going to get into the details, that he had a relationship with another lady. It's just like, let's say if a man, this is not as intimate, but if a man goes home one day and his wife sees lips on, from lipstick on his cheeks, oh my God, there's all hell to be paid. At that point, the lawyers are going to be called for divorce. So anyway, so Radharani, and Krishna says, "I'm here." And what did she do? She storms away. He says, "I don't want anything to do with you." And in other cases, Krishna, it's actually even more intense in this relationship between Rukmini and Krishna, where, Rukmini is being told you married the wrong husband. In other cases, Krishna even calls Srimati Radharani by the name of her competitor, which I can't mention because it's not my mood. Sorry. Starts with a C, but I can't. No, I can't say it. So anyway, so he calls her by the name of her competitor, and it indicates her face is like the moon. Anyway, Chandra is the name of the moon. And she gets really angry, and she storms away. Other times, Krishna says, your face is like the moon, and she gets angry because she thinks that Krishna is saying, what? She has spots on her face. He can't win. But Krishna's trying to just stimulate her anger like that. And then he has to do all sorts of interesting things to placate her. As we're going to see in this story, Krishna does some interesting things to placate Queen Rukmini, but it's not as intimate, of course. In order to placate Srimati Radharani, he has to dress up as a woman sometimes, and enter. This is, of course, the Gauri Kund story, and enter into the Kund, which he's taken shelter of, the Kund or the temple of Gauri, and somehow or other avoid or trick her so-called protectors, not so-called, but her friends, who are actually standing there with sticks ready to beat this little blue boy. And so there's none of these official relationships going on. Like Pati, your Jagat Gurum. As soon as the gopis see the Lord in the Jagat Gurum aspect with the four hands, they just say, please accept our obeisances. Where is Krishna? That's the chatur, the four-handed expansion, Chaturabhuja. And then, of course, Radharani causes the extra two hands to disappear. So, anyway, so here, and even with Mother Yashoda, Krishna likes to just get her angry. And usually when you get angry with someone, or you get really upset, you actually forget the designations, that you're the mother, or you're the wife, or you're the husband, isn't it? When you get, the abhiman. There's a certain abhiman, which is conception. Right now our conception is what? I am this body. Hamameti, This is our conception. So extreme emotions destroy one's conceptions of oneself. It's interesting, isn't it? And either deepen relations or help you forget that you're the body when your extreme emotions are relationship to Krishna. So in other words, when you do away with the designations, you get more personal. Yashoda did this when she got angry with Krishna, and Krishna inspired this by breaking the butter pots. Krishna inspired the other gopis, the elder gopis, to get angry with him by stealing butter. They were angry, but enjoying that particular anger. It's very interesting. All right, so what does that mean for good old us? Do we need to get rid of the conception that Krishna is Jagat Guru, that Krishna is our Pati, our Lord and Master, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God? Not precisely, but we need to get more personal with the Lord, because these designations take away from our personal interactions. And I've been thinking about this recently as I've been doing the reading in the evening and the commentary on the Bhajan Rahasya, which is actually a beautiful book. You're all invited to join us. The Bhajan Rahasya is written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it deals with the secrets of bhajan. Actually, that's what Bhajan Rahasya means. And it connects us very much with the Shikshashika of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But particularly, and other aspects such as the stage of advancement, devotional service, and a little bit of indication about the Ashtakaliya Leela. Not much, not great detail. So, but particularly it helps us develop a personal relationship with Krishna's name. Not just, Krishna. We have the philosophy, and I perfectly accept that philosophy, that Anama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, which is one of the verses he quotes, Purna Shuddha Nityamukto, Nidapina Dwam Namino, verse which I often quote. The name is not different than Krishna. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Shuddha, perfect, complete. It's this non-different than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Binat Wam Namino. The Nama and Nami are exactly the same. But he mentions in many places hints in other quotes how we can develop a very personal, interactive relationship with Krishna's names. I mean, it's really helped me with the chanting, deepen my chanting. For example, he mentions that, having quotes, that we can actually pray to the holy name. I mean, normally, when we we pray to something we could see or someone we can see. Like, it's very intuitive. It's very natural when we go before Radha Goloka Nanda that we hopefully pray. We join our hands together. Some people, they just join their hands together and make the mind blank. But anyway, we should be praying to Krishna, at least revealing our mind. As I often mention, that when I first came to the Hare Krishna movement, this was in Boston many, many years ago, 1960s something. The devotees had this ceremony every week that they would have a kirtan, and each individual devotee would one by one go to the deities, and they talk to the deities, very personal, and their own language, not just reciting prayers and everything like that, which is nice, which is part of the devotional process, but they would tell Krishna what they did that week. And while they would tell, and then tell Krishna what they hope to do the next week, and pray to Krishna to help them, whatever, or free them from anarthas, or at least pray that their wife would be nicer to them, or something like that. Not really, that's a joke. But it was just so incredibly, I was so impressed, even though I didn't understand the deities at that time. I thought it was, what are they doing? So, but I was impressed with this personal aspect of the relationship. And oftentimes in devotional service, because of this principle of aniyam agraha, we're not so personal, either with each other or with the holy name or with the temple. Just like I was watching one devotee sweep the temple, I was thinking, that's very personal. It's not his duty. It's not that he's supposed to do it. It's not like official relationship, but he's seeing that the floor is dirty and he's cleaning it because he feels that connection. Temple is expansion of Balaram, Shesha. So he actually feels this connection. So in the holy name is described by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that you actually could talk and pray to the holy name. I found that really inspiring. It's not just like non-different from Krishna. It is non-different than Krishna, or he is non-different. He is non-different from Krishna. Actually, in the pastimes of Lord Ram, which I mentioned last night in class, it's mentioned that Lord Ram gave Hanuman the benediction that the holy name is more powerful than him. So he was able to, one sense, defeat Lord Ram, or protect himself when Lord Ram was attacking him. Because anyway, there's a whole story which I'm not going to tell right now. But you can actually pray as you're chanting. You can actually pray to the name. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. I mean, it's the form, Vigraha. You can actually talk to the name. Isn't that amazing? And it is so personal. It's not just like officially, it's Krishna, it's the thing we do. We chant these 16 rounds every day, follow the 4 regulative principles. And I just tend to get into this Niyam Magraha stuff. Just officially go to Mangalarti. So every action should be a personal prayer. And I'm not saying you put aside the title, Krishna's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and jump prematurely to a higher platform than you're at. Like you come up to the deities and you go on the altar and you kiss Krishna. No. That would be abominable. Of course, I remember there was one person who did that, and she's no longer with us. Anyway, so, but just very, very personal interaction. And, sometimes you put aside these official titles, and it's very sweet. And I see that, I'm actually even reading about sometimes Srutakirti Prabhu's interactions with Prabhupada. I mean, it's not that he became disrespectful, but Prabhupada actually, sometimes Prabhupada just like, I don't want to say let his hair down, but sometimes Prabhupada would just talk about his childhood, what he did during his childhood, how his mother took care of him. It's a very sweet relationship. So this is what we're hankering for. And Krishna here is actually bringing or increasing the sweetness of the relationship between Rukmini and himself. So this is his intention, actually for the pleasure of Rukmini and for his own pleasure. The sweetness, he's, what do they say, boiling down the sugarcane juice until it becomes like syrup, crystallize, and finally sugar lozenges. I think that's the last one, the lozenges. So, any questions or comments? We got 2 minutes left. Yes. Yeah. The Vigraha form, yeah. Archer Vigraha, but the holy name is also Vigraha according to this verse. It's a form. Because within the name there's Nama, Guna, Rupa, Leela. Contained within the name. That's amazing if you think about it. The name, Nama, the qualities of Krishna are manifest, the form of Krishna is manifest, and Krishna's Leela is there in his name. I mean, we're talking about all these different Leelas between Rukmini and Krishna, the Leela between Radha and Krishna, the Leela between Yashodamai and Krishna. It's all within the name, Nama Guna Rupa Leela. I mean, I just thinking about that is enough to make my mind explode. It's always within the name, but they're not appreciating it. Like the sunshine is always, whatever, how many degrees or whatever. But sometimes we are covered by clouds. The sun, yes. Yeah. It's acting, and it actually behooves. Oh my God, and it behooves us to cultivate the purity in our own chanting the holy name, so that we will have more potency when spreading the holy name to others. On that happy note.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Dipan Kayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Adi Purusha Namaham Bhajami Govinda 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 Adi Purusha.
Namako Vishnu Pajaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Shimate Bhakti Vilantago Namani Omene Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Vacha, Neke Devi Sesha, Shunyavani, Paschachati Satarinde. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nana, Radha Goloka, Nana, Radhe. Goloka, Nana, Nana, Goloka, Nana, Radhe. Hey, Nare, Narate. Rate, Rate, Narate. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri Radhe, Jai Om. Satashi Shimad, Divine Grace, Abhaya Satanar, Sami Maharaj,
Chaito Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadamagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi. Very nice. Saranam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Gatrapita Niyamita Smarane Nakala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durgdaiva Midrishami Hajjani Nanuraga Drin Pisu Nichena Chorora Pisu Hishuna Amani Namanadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamae Mama Janmani Janmani Ishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Hoitaki Twai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kripayata Vabada Pankaja Stita Duli Sajashim Vachintaya Nayanam Galadashu Daraya Varanam Gat Garudaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanamagrahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Bhavashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishya Vapadamritam Panastumam Adarshanam Marmahatakarotuva Toyataya Vinadatulam Batoma. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these things. Oh, thank you. Holy name. I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your essence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me brokenhearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Shri Shastastika Ki Jai.